Hey guys, did you know that Philippians is the happiest book in the Bible? It's just frequently dubbed that, and joy is mentioned a bunch of times, happiness is mentioned a bunch of times, and so I'm excited about talking to you guys about that today. First off, it's important to note that Paul actually wrote Philippians while he was in jail, and he talks a lot about happiness and gratitude and things like that. And it's while he's in jail, like chained to a guard. So I think the biggest thing to note about happiness right off the bat is that the Bible and God's word, like, he doesn't want you to be happy based on your circumstances. He wants you to find happiness from within. And so frequently we're happy or we're not happy 100% based on our circumstances. So I think that's the first thing to really note right away. Secondly, in Philippians 1:3, Paul says, "Every time I think of you, I give my thanks to God." So he talks about gratitude a lot in this book. He's just very thankful. And I think that that's the other thing that we can really, or the other kind of main point that we can really take away here is having a genuine mindset of gratitude. You have to be grateful for what's in your life. Like, how much do we actually take for granted? So much. I mean, we're always so worried about such trivial things, and we have so much in our life to be so happy about. And the question then is like, okay, well, how do we remind ourselves continuously to have gratitude and to express gratitude? There's a couple things you can do. First off, I think that you can have kind of accountability buddies. So that's really what's going on with myself and a couple friends, where we're just continuously texting each other throughout the day. Hey, this is what I'm grateful for. And then the other two will always respond with, okay, well, this is what I'm grateful for. So it's like reminding us to have just that feeling of gratitude on a really regular basis. You could set alarms in your phone as well to go off to remind you to experience gratitude for something. You could make a gratitude list every morning before you even get your day started, and it would take 5 minutes. Fill up as much of a page as you can of everything that you're thankful for. But what it does is it puts what you're experiencing into perspective. So if I'm experiencing a problem in my business or whatever it is, then I go to what I'm grateful for, I make a list, and all of a sudden that problem seems really small, because compared to the fact that I still have a family who, loves me, and a husband who's there, and, the health of my family, and this and that and the other, this issue that I'm dealing with seems tiny. So that is really a huge thing to keep in mind. So another thing that Paul does a lot in this book is he prays for others. He's talking about praying for other believers, for the Philippians specifically. And it got me thinking, first off, there have been times in my life where I have fallen away from prayer more than I really would like to admit. And I always feel so much of a closeness when I get back into regular prayer that is so important for our relationship with God. But then the next layer of that is, how often are we really praying for others? I think that there's also been times in my life where it's been really common for me to pray for myself. I'm working through something. I have this issue. I'm going to pray about it. But how much more selfless can we be with our prayers? I think that this also leads to happiness. If we use Paul as an example, here he is writing this letter. He's imprisoned, he's chained to a guard, he doesn't know if he's going to be executed in the future or not, so there's like this uncertainty over his life, and he is talking about how thankful he is and how much he's praying for these people that he's writing to, and he's genuinely so happy, right? And it's like, if we're gonna adopt what the word is telling us here, then it would say, give thanks, pray for others. And then the third thing here would be, he feels so happy because he trusts God. So basically, as he's faced with what seems like insurmountable problems, he doesn't waver in his happiness because he knows that God is going to take care of it. And basically, that's all he needs to know. So transfer that to modern day. And how much do we not trust God when it comes to things so much smaller than imprisonment and execution, you know? And I think that if we keep this in mind, it puts in perspective our own issues. But if we live like Paul, who's living like Jesus, then we also are so much happier because we're getting our happiness from internally, as opposed to external situations that are always going to change and go up and down. So express gratitude as much as you can. Pray for others and trusting in God. And obviously easier said than done to a certain extent, but a lot of this is really just being conscious of it. It's just consciously doing it. So the verse that I wanted to bring some attention to is Philippians 4:6. A lot of you guys may be familiar with this, but some of you guys may not. And this is something that I now read every day just to put myself in the right mental place. And it's a great word. It just says, Philippians 4:6, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. God is telling you what to do, speaking through Paul here. Don't worry about anything. What are you worried about right now? Don't worry about anything. Instead of that, pray about everything. Tell God what you need. Thank him for all he's done. Then you'll experience God's peace. That's it. It's so simple. And we overcomplicate it so much. So whatever's going on in your mind right now, stop this video, pray about it, and he tells you exactly how to pray. Thank God for what he's done. Tell him what you need, and then lay it at his feet. That's it. Like, go on to the next thing because it's done. It makes me feel good just thinking about it. Seriously, go do that. Have a great night. Talk to you guys later.